Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So today I have some exciting news. I am moving to New York City. I am so excited. I am moving to the Big Apple. Like, I'm actually doing it. I am moving to New York City. That's crazy. Like, that's so crazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna be kind of talking about, what led me to that and just some tips on if y'all are moving to New York City, things to keep in mind, and like I said, just some tips on about New York City and what to look forward to. So yeah, I'm also doing a Q&A in a few videos, so if y'all have any questions, maybe about New York, about my personal life, about anything, then just leave those down below in the comments and I will check those and get a few more questions in there. And subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so first I'm going to give a background, just in case any of y'all are new, or to any of my subscribers. I don't know if I've talked really about like myself and my background, that's why I was gonna kind of do a Q&A. First disclaimer, I live by an airport, so you might hear planes, and then just, cars. There's a window right here, so y'all might hear that noise. Sorry about that. Got that done and over with. Okay, good. Let's move on. So first thing is, I am 19, or I'm about to be 19 years old in December, and I am from a suburb outside of Houston. I was originally supposed to go to Ole Miss this fall, and obviously I did not go. I am here. I did not go because they took my major out of their programs, so there wasn't really a point for me to go. And also, I just really decided, like, Mississippi wasn't like really where I wanted to be and wasn't like my type of people. So I decided to stay in state and just go to a community college and figure out really where I wanted to go and do more research on universities. I looked into Texas Christian University up in Fort Worth, and it fit everything I needed, but it was really expensive. I didn't realize that at first, but it is really expensive to go there, and I would have ended up rushing and being in a sorority, which that is like that's a lot of additional cost on top of just tuition and living and fees and stuff like that. So pretty much that brings me to where I am today. I decided to move to New York City. I am not there right now. This is not my usual setup. I decided to change it up for this video. I'll be back to my normal setup in later videos, but yeah, I have decided to move to New York City. I have looked at 2 colleges, and I'm kind of, I'm debating on which one to go to. So the first one is LIM, which is the Laboratory Institute of Merchandising. A little info about them. It's about 1,500 undergrads. The tuition is about $24,000 for in-state and out-of-state. There's no difference in where you live for that. They have on-campus dorms. I won't be living in dorms because I'll be going in as a sophomore, and I'd rather live in my own apartment. The campus is split up into 3 different buildings down Park Avenue. And you have to have 3 internships, which this is like a really big plus for me. You have to have 3 internships to graduate, so they make you get into like the field that you're going into. I'm majoring in fashion merchandising, so they really push you into getting a job and getting a career out of it. And the second school that I am considering is FIT, which is the Fashion Institute of Merchandising. That school has about 5,000 undergrads. It's about 14,000 for out-of-state. I think it's about 7,000 for in-state. They have dorms on campus as well. The school is more close-knit. It's in the same block as each other. It's not split up like LIM is. Whenever you apply, they have AMC and FBM or FDM. I don't know if it's fashion design merchandising or if it's fashion buying merchandising. I don't know if it's FBM or FDM, but whatever. And then AMC is advertising, marketing, and communications. So when you apply, you kind of choose which one you go to, and you go from there into fashion, or you go into the marketing and communication side. I haven't decided which school I'm going to go to yet. I'm still weighing it, which one I want to go to. I'm not going to say which one I'm kind of favoring. I'll do that in a later video once I decide which school I'm going to. But yeah, I think that they're both really amazing schools. I think you can't go wrong with either one. FIT is more well known, but I feel like LIM should be just as well known. I think that they're both equally as awesome and just give you equally great opportunities. So that's pretty much just my background and where I'm planning on going and why I'm originally moving up there is for school. But once you move up to New York, where are you going to live? That's a big question. I have like a book over here, like I have like my binder. It has like all of my info, my papers, like everything I need for like moving to New York, all my like, you know, research I've done. I'm a big planner. I'm moving there in 8 months, so I'm definitely planning stuff out. That's another thing. If you're moving to New York, you have got to plan in advance when it comes to saving money, because money's a big thing, and I'll get into that later on in the video. Locations I've really started to look at is the Upper West Side. That's my number one. That's like, if I could live anywhere right now in my life, of course if I could live anywhere in New York, I would like be like, oh, I'll live in a penthouse in Chelsea, or like a penthouse, you know, right on the corner of Central Park. But right now in my life, I definitely want to live in the Upper West Side. I want to live as close to Central Park as possible. I love Central Park. Some other places I am looking at is Chelsea. Chelsea's definitely out of my price range, so it would be more of like Chelsea meets Hell's Kitchen, Brooklyn, and Greenwich. Greenwich is amazing. I don't really want to live in Midtown, because you can go to Midtown whenever you want, and I want to live somewhere that's kind of more quiet, even though it is New York City. The Upper West Side is going to be more quiet, and so is Brooklyn. And Brooklyn, I've been looking in Dumbo and Clinton Hill. Those are some really great places in some of the safest neighborhoods in all of Brooklyn, and they're the closest to Manhattan. My neighbor's walking his dog, and I think he was just like being like, what is that chick doing? Like, what is she doing in there? Awkward. Okay, so next is living with a roommate or living by yourself. So I wrote down a bunch of pros and cons. I'm not going to list all of them, but definitely some pros of living with a roommate is like having someone there. Whenever you move to New York, if you don't know anyone, I already know some people there, so this doesn't kind of concern me, but having like someone, you know, having like a best friend, like having like a friend, like moving there and y'all only kind of know each other is good. At least y'all are both kind of in the same boat. So I definitely recommend living with a roommate if you don't know anyone up in New York, and find yourself someone. Don't find yourself someone like Craigslist or someone that might be crazy. Definitely like do your research and find someone that's gonna fit you. If you can't find anyone, honestly, it's safer to live by yourself than it is to live with a crazy person. I mean, that's just my opinion. And safety is the biggest thing. Safety is huge because, you know, one second you could be on a good street, next second you could be on a bad street, and, you know, you're never gonna live in like the perfect area. It's still New York City, but New York City has gotten a lot safer and a lot cleaner over the past few years, so keep that in mind. It's not as scary as it used to be, but safety is a big thing. Living with a roommate will be safer than living by yourself. And some cons of having a roommate is some people, you know, live in like a one bedroom and then kind of split the living room. If that's the case, or, you know, if you live in a studio, it's just, you won't really have much personal space. I love like my home, like my area where I sleep, like, you know, my room, my vibes, everything. I love it to be just very like aesthetically pleasing, all nice and stuff like that. So you won't really have much of a personal space because you'll have to share everything with someone. So that's a big con. I am moving up there with someone, but we are definitely very similar, so I'm not worried about that. Another thing is, if you get a bad roommate, this is all kind of like bad roommate stuff, is you would have to clean up after them. And, you know, I'm not saying like, yeah, you have to clean up after your roommates, but like, say your roommate like makes a bunch of stuff and then and goes, hey, I'm leaving for 3 days. You're not just gonna like leave it like in a mess for 3 days and let your apartment stink, you know? So definitely that's just, pick your roommate wisely, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say. Apartment cost, the cheapest apartment you can kind of find in Manhattan that's good is about $1,400 to $1,500 a month, and that doesn't even include your own bathroom, so definitely keep that in mind. But having like a 2-bedroom or having a 1-bedroom, you can get one that's about $2,500, that's in Manhattan in a good area, and you can split the cost right down the middle, and it'll be about $1,200 for you and a roommate. Also look out for fees. Broker fees are about twice what you pay for 1 month's rent. So if you pay $2,000 for 1 month's rent, then your broker's fee is going to be about $4,000 roughly, and then you'll just split that with a roommate. And that's like your initial cost. Another great thing about having an apartment in New York City is you can VRBO or Airbnb it out. So once you make friends, or if you already have friends up there, you can kind of like VRBO your apartment out and then be like, hey, can I come stay with you for like 4 days I'll give you like 25% of what I make and thanks for letting me stay with you, or I'll take you out to like a nice dinner, something like that, you know. So that's also a good way to find rent, and that's also a really good thing about having, you know, a bigger apartment, because people are always looking for a bigger apartment, because usually when people travel to New York and they want to stay in an Airbnb or a VRBO, they're going with, you know, maybe like 2 at least, up to like 5 or 6 people. So transportation, I have a car, I do have a Mercedes, and it can go for about $14,000 to $17,000. I'm shooting for about 15 out of it, and that's what I will use to help cover the cost. I won't need a car, obviously, and it's cheaper than, you know, monthly car payments. Your transportation for Metro cards is, it used to be $116, they raised it to $121 or $122, like over the past year, which is so stupid, but whatever. So you pay that monthly and you get an unlimited monthly Metro card pass. Everyone takes the subway. Like, unless, if you are moving there, like, just to New York, I guarantee you won't be taking a cab or an Uber as much as you think you will. Mostly people take mostly people take subways wherever they're going, and you swipe your card so much. Food is about like $300 a month. You have to like guess that that's how much you're gonna spend a month on just like groceries. Food in New York is very expensive, and I would definitely look at different places. And also Amazon, getting stuff in Amazon in bulk is a good thing for getting like toiletries and getting food for a lot cheaper. Okay, now onto monthly costs. So I'm probably gonna be looking at my binder for this, but so about $300 for groceries. Give yourself about like $100 to $150 of eating out as you can. This is just my personal monthly sheet. You know, some people are like, oh, that's way too much, and some people are thinking that's way too little. This is just what my estimate is of what I've looked into and kind of calculated. I'm shooting about maximum of $1,500 on rent. That's probably going to include my utilities, because I'm probably going to live in an apartment. That's about $1,200 to $1,300. Clothes, I'm giving myself about $100 a month just so I don't go crazy, and you know, go to Zara, get myself something that month, or you know, once every 2 weeks. That's what I do anyways with my job. Once a month I buy something with my paycheck that's like, you know, a clothing item or like something that I've been like saving up for, so it's kind of like the same thing. $50 to $100 on personal care, like toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, all that kind of stuff is another thing. Give yourself about $50 to $100 for a month. Another big thing is if you are like a senior, if you're in high school and you go grocery shopping with your parents, or you're like, hey, I'll go grocery shopping, go ahead and grab yourself like all of your grab yourself another tube of toothpaste, some shampoo, conditioner, makeup wipes, all that kind of stuff, and start collecting it now. That's what I did, and I have like a bulk supply of just all that kind of stuff. So I already know I'm like set for a while. So that's pretty much like my monthly cost. Obviously it didn't include my transportation, but I already mentioned that you know, a little bit ago. Parents are going to help me out with that, thankfully, but I'm definitely going to try and, you know, support myself for as long as I can without asking for too much. So yeah, that's pretty much just like, you know, a rough little sum up of why I'm moving to New York, just some things that I've learned about, you know, moving up to New York. What are you going to need to know? If y'all need answers to anything specific, just leave them down below and I will either reply to you or make another video about this, about anything specific y'all may need or may need to know. So yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more New York videos. I will be going there next month and looking for you know, areas, looking at the schools and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to see a vlog of my New York trip and you want to see all that kind of stuff, then just let me know. And follow me on all my social media. I will have my Instagram right down here somewhere at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, that concludes this video. Thank y'all all so much for being here. I hope y'all have an amazing day. Mwah! Bye.